I bet you know what it feels like to be overwhelmed. You know that feeling when there's just too many different parts and pieces to try to keep track of? Well, a couple of weeks ago we started our building project here, and when we look at it on the plans, it looks pretty simple, right? I mean, we're not doing anything elaborate. We can do this. But then we started doing it. And we started firing up bulldozers and moving dirt. And you can probably hear them in the background, and there's trucks coming and going. We're hauling gravel. There's one truck that doesn't like to start, so they have to charge it out for an hour every morning before they use it. And then we're working on our outdoor stage so that we can meet here during the summer while we're building. And Saturday morning I came to do a little studying here to the office, and we had a lot of wind Friday night. And I stepped out of my car and, well, there's our stage. The wind blew it right over. So we're thinking, hey, you know what? It's just one more thing that we got to do. It could all be very overwhelming if we let it. But there's one very important factor that we have to keep in mind as we do all this, and that is God's the one who has to do it. He's the one who has to give us the strength and the ability and the endurance to get all of this done. I mean, I don't know how we can do it. We don't really have the money. We don't have the time. But God is the one who is leading us into this, and we believe He's the one that can help us to do it. Somebody sent me an email the other day to encourage us in our process here, and he referenced the verses in Zechariah chapter 4. See, Zerubbabel and Ezra had led a whole group of Israelites back into the promised land after the Babylonian captivity and the Medes and the Persians, and their task was to rebuild the temple, and it was overwhelming. It was huge. And God gave Zechariah an encouragement for Zerubbabel, the governor, the leader, the one who was heading up the building project. And in Zechariah 4, verse 6, he said, "This is the word of the Lord to Zerubbabel, not by might, nor by power, but by my spirit, says the Lord of hosts. Who are you, O great mountain? Before Zerubbabel you shall become a plain, and he shall bring forward the top stone amidst shouts of grace." Grace to it. It is the grace of God that's going to enable us to do all this. It's by God's grace that in a few months we're going to be in a building. It's not going to be about my abilities. It's not going to be about Tim's abilities. It's not even going to be about us trying to get everybody together and getting everybody to do their part, although we'll do that. No, it's going to be God's Spirit and God's power and God's grace that is going to help us do it. And that same grace comes to bear in your life too. Whatever is overwhelming to you, it's not by your power that you're going to get through it. It's by the power and the grace of God.